Welcome back to what is probably one of the most disastrous narrowboat channels on the YouTube, guys. You know it is. Either that or I am the most disastrous. Anyway, this was the moment in the last episode when my hatches fell off again for the third time. So I got an expert in under the name of Expert Chris. Yes, my name's Chris too, but I'm no expert. He stuck these hatches on with no more nails because we were kind of trying to prevent drilling through the actual steel on the boat. Well, actually, I wanted to drill through them and Becca didn't really want to drill through them, and this is what ended up happening when she went away with the girlies for the weekend. The only way that we're going to get these to stay on properly is by actually screwing them in to the actual steel door. The Expert Chris does not mess about, does he? Straight in with the screws. Complete disregard for the boat. Oh, I'm only joking. He's doing his best to try and get us on our way, guys. The problem was this no more nails was drying and it was starting to come off from the actual steel, so we had no other choice really at this point but to drill through the actual steel on the boat. I tried ringing Becca and I could not get through, unfortunately, so I took it into my own hands. Oh dear. The initial plan was going to be to completely repaint this door, get a proper colour match and have it all ready and looking beautiful for when Bex gets back, but that never happened, did it? So a quick little touch up. Meh, not sure about that, but we'll see how it goes when it dries. Maybe another coat. And yeah, patiently wait for her return, and here she is now. Yeah, 15 girls in a jacuzzi in some sort of woodland area or something, so invite please next time. I know exactly what happens at these parties. I did manage to finally get in touch with Bex on the phone, and I have warned her about this, and...
Right then, let's see these bloody hatches.
Have a touch.
Mr. Blobby, Spotty. Right, so basically, I got this sort of slightly frantic phone call from Chris. You could hear the tension in his voice because basically things had unfolded with the hatches as they had, which meant that they had to drill through the steel. And we'd had all these conversations about it in the past, and I had my reservations for mainly because of not wanting to put more holes in the metal, because that can, you know, cause the metal eventually over time to lose its kind of integrity. But then also because I knew it would lead on to a whole other massive job, which would mean stripping the paint from the hatches on the outside, preparing all that metal, treating it, and then repainting, which is a job we didn't really want to do. So when he phoned me up and he'd been like, you went away, so I did this thing anyway, he was freaking out that I'd be freaking out. As it turns out, it's fine, you know, you had to do what you had to do, so they look alright.
Ish. I mean, it is Mr. Blobby, isn't it? The blue ones?
The word cheese grater comes to mind. Like, these poor hatches, you know, when they were originally done, they were fixed in that way, so they already have several screw holes in them anyway, and then now they've had another 6 or something put in, so poor things are more like a cheese grater than they are a hatch door. So we just have to really make sure the metal's protected.
Huh?
Alright.
No holes.
That'll be visible. So.
What will? There's nothing there. Not any little marking there whatsoever, is there?
I can see a couple of dots.
Can't see anything. Nothing. It's the old Chrissy Crobot filler treatment. That's what you get with me. These hatches have completely broken me, guys. I mean, it's been one thing after another. So as you guys know, Expert Chris was called in to save the day with our wooden hatches. So he ripped off my beautiful, lovely wooden hatches that I'd worked on for ages. Do you remember? Very, very depressing. Do you feel guilty for taking off my lovely hatches?
Nah, I'd feel guilty for putting them on.
If you see this wood, he was going to start sort of putting the wood up here, putting new wood up on the sides. Obviously it wouldn't be this size, it would sort of be cut to shape, and we'd also colour it as well so it'd be the right sort of colour, so it'd tie in nicely. But I can't be bothered to do that now. I've got nothing to do today, and nothing to do. That kills Becca when I say that, because there's so much to do in this boat, and I mope around saying that there's nothing to do. But I've found something to do. I'm just going to put back on the old borders that were on there before, because the old borders were quite nice actually. Look, you see? They sat on there like that, and can you see? And they tie in with the top bits, and I don't actually think you need to start cutting out a whole new frame for it, do you, really? So I'm going to have a crack at that. I'm going to put the handles on, I'm going to put the locks on all the hatches, I'm going to put the frames back on, and I'm also going to take off a little bit of the inner frame, which prevented the hatch shutting as well. So, okay, she's given me my guidelines, literally. Let's get drilling. Off, please. Yoink. One. Probably. I don't know. Putting my locks on. My locks. Mine. All mine. Everything's mine. The boat's mine. The locks are mine. The hatches are mine. The taps are mine. The rust is Becca's.
I get all the good stuff.
So Becca told me that you actually meant to drill the holes in first, but I opted for my own method. And as you can see, the little lock here sits behind the steel frame on the bottom, which is what we want with each hatch. Look, balancing. Wouldn't see that on any other channel, would you? The old balance trick. It's called DIY for a reason, isn't it, guys? Do it yourself, and I am doing it myself, my way, all right? Oh dear. So you get your screw, shove it in there, push really bloody hard so that it stays. Get the old. Chrissy Crobot. Perfection. Huh? Very slow. Look at that.
Oh my god, the bagels! So I was just in the middle of making bagels for me and Chris. Now I've made bagels for me and Chris.
There we go. Shut. Look at that. I've done that. I've done it. My first hatch lock. I've been itching to get a hatch lock on. There she is, my little beauty. So far, so good. Okay, so back to Becca's crazy little copper taps. Are they crazy? I think they're a bit crazy, aren't they? But they are bloody awesome, aren't they? So they're not plumbed in just yet. So she's taken them to bits and she's going to give them a good old shiny whiny.
Okay, so the next stage for my now deconstructed tap, poor girl, I've taken her legs off again, is to just protect the copper, because over time when it oxidises it'll turn a sort of dull colour, and we want it to retain this lovely kind of copper sheeniness. So first of all I'm going to polish it up real nice with some Does It's metal polish liquid, and then after that I'm going to give it a coating of metal lacquer, so that should prevent any oxidisation from happening. Is that how you say it? So I have donned my gloves. Get my little clothy and try some of this bad boy out. Oh, it's really thick. I wasn't expecting that, actually. So I'm not too sure how much of this you're actually meant to use, but we're winging it. Oh, I'm going to take my Buffy cloth. My Buffy cloth? Otherwise known as my Buffy cloth. Ooh, shiny. Voila! So there you go. I don't know if you can pick this up too well on the video, but the right side is my polished one and the left side is my unpolished one.
Again, we have run into the problem where one of the wooden hatches on the inlays is far too big for its socket. Is it a socket? I'm going with socket. But if you look here, this bit here touches the metal rim, so won't sit in behind here, so I'm going to have to trim a little bit off here with the old angle grinder, I think. Bloody typical, innit? Something's gone wrong again. Next up, we're going to bung on me little cup handles. There we go. Beautiful. Bloody beautiful. Am I getting cocky, guys? So they're looking good. We are getting there, but they still don't lock at the moment. Right, let's sort expert Chris's mess out. Anyway, Bex, always sorting out everyone's mess. If you want a job doing properly, call properly. If you want a job doing properly. If you want a job doing properly, call upon Chrissy Crobot. You'll die happy. It won't bloody shut though. Again, on our second hatch, we're having trouble now getting these to lock. I mean, I can't believe it. We had them locking before, and now we've pulled those hatches off, put the new ones on, and now these ones won't bloody lock. You cannot make this stuff up, can you guys? Must be catching somewhere along here. I'll investigate further in the morning. Locks are back on, they just don't lock. Perfect. What you do, you have to joggle that on there, hold that up to where it goes. Carpenters around the world are going to be impressed with me. Like that. Perfect. So I made sure to have these handles and locks all lined up properly so it all looks nice, you know? And now they won't lock either. A standard day for me being a narrowboater. So back to Beck's shining things.
Now I've just got to do the nozzle.
And she moved outside into our conservatory to apply the metal lacquer. Yeah, we don't want any of those evil fumes circulating through the Wombat now, do we?
Welcome to my mad laboratory. I like to play with pipes in here.
The main bit, the nose. Okay, so I'll start to put back the borders or the rims or the frames round our hatches. I repeat, start. So, can't find the other one. Got the first one up. Can you see it? Well, we got one on, haven't we? On to hatch 2. So again, we've run into a dilemma. Yeah, we've got the two sides on here, but we haven't been able to locate the one for the living room hatch. Always something, isn't it? Always. Well, let's sleep on it and re-evaluate in the morning. So as you guys know, I started putting back the borders on the lovely hatches, and we seem to have lost one. This bit here seems to be missing from this side. Is it missing from that side, do you reckon? Or did it always look like that?
There's quite a possibility it could have been. No, it's not. It is missing from that side.
So gonna have a little rummage around and see if we can find it, because at the moment on the vessel, there's odds and sods all over the bloody place. It's a bloody mess. What are we calling that bit?
What, do you actually want a proper name, or do you want a Becker name?
A Becker name.
Side ridgy edging board.
Side edging ridging board, where are you? Here? Ridging board, hello? Oh, I've searched the whole boat, I could not find it anywhere. Such an annoying bit to lose, the self-edging ridging board.
Can you not find it?
Not at the moment.
Bugger. You know what, if it had been any other bit it wouldn't really matter, because these are just flat pieces of wood. This has got like an edging to it. That's
the ridging.
The edgy ridginess that has been sort of carpentried in. It's probably like bespoke.
That's definitely bespoke. Could be on the roof. My plan obviously was to get these hatches all shut and get all the frames put back on. And yeah, all the inlays and everything done, but as it turns out now, we've put the new wooden inlays in. They're not locking now. So as you know, we took off the original hatches that were on the boat because they were just all rank and disgusting. But I sort of put quite a little bit of time into sort of putting these new ones on. But then we put them on and the hatches wouldn't bloody shut, would they? And we're like grinding away at them, we're ripping bits off them off and they still wouldn't shut. Now finally, expert Chris comes up. He says rip them all off. So we rip them all off. He does it so that the hatches all shut properly. And now when I've come to put the bloody locks on the hatches, none of them shut, do they? One of them shuts, only one shuts. And the other ones I'm going to have to start grinding bits off again to try and get them to shut. So, it's annoying, isn't it?
They're cursed, the hatches are cursed.
They are cursed. Shut your bloody thing. Yeah, each one's like that, I think. Bloody nightmare. I wanted to have all the lovely frames back on, but now we're missing one, aren't we? Okay, let's have a look on the roof. It's a problem with having so much bloody wood on the boat, isn't it? Boat of wood. It's nowhere, is it? Such an annoying piece to lose, because I think they're specially made, bespoke, for the boats. So expert Chris was originally going to build a whole new frame thing for the inner hatches. Like I said earlier, we did just have a little chat, and we do remember heading up to B&Q a few weeks back, and we took that piece of wood with us. Is it skirting? So that, yeah, we can compare it to the other little bits of wood up there and hopefully come back with something similar. Yeah, we're just going to retrace our steps and maybe head up to B&Q again. I don't have much hope for it, to be honest, because it was about 3 weeks ago now. But you never know. We're really running on empties here, aren't we? But let's have a look.